I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Fingers crossed, guys.
Hey, it's Laura.
And Deb, and it's an iffy, sketchy episode of I Got the Hell Out. Because it took 20 minutes to get the computer up and running, and
it had restarted, and yeah.
So I get to sit here and stare at the computer screen, and when I'm reading, you're gonna have to turn around and look at the computer screen.
Otherwise, we'll get an error message,
and we'll have
been yapping for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's really hard to recreate the crap because you don't get the spontaneity, you don't get the oh my gosh, and yeah. So computer, please don't mess up, please, please, please.
Okay.
Maybe you should take it to the Apple store and have them do something with it. Fix it. Yeah, debug it. Something.
Do something to it.
Yeah, do something. Work magic with it.
That's right.
Anyway, we have a really good Kool-Aid recipe today.
Okay.
It's from Tanner M. Mm-hmm. Pretty active member, one I talk to on
Facebook.
Yeah, on private messages and stuff. But last week we had a summer recipe. Mm-hmm. This week is because it's really cold here this week, and it's a fall Kool-Aid recipe. Ooh. And I might actually like this one.
Okay,
caramel apple mimosa.
Ooh,
doesn't that sound good?
That sounds really
with Granny
good.
Smith apples.
That sounds really good.
Okay, you need 2 tablespoons of caramel and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, 1 cup of green apple Kool-Aid, and caramel vodka to taste. A whole damn bottle? Sure, why the fuck not? Just don't drink and drive. You will also need 1 bottle of champagne, apple slices for a cute garnish. You rim your champagne flute with the caramel and cinnamon sugar. You take the vodka and Kool-Aid and the champagne, mix it together, and cheers, motherfucker, cheers.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Aren't mimosas like breakfast drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have it any time, though.
I'm supposing. Is it in the same category as drinks with little fruity drinks with umbrellas?
Well, mimosas are just champagne and orange juice.
Well, I wasn't sure because I don't drink that stuff. I'm not even sure if I've ever had real champagne. Oh, look at you laugh at me and give me that pitying look.
I'm not giving you a pitying look. I'm still nervous about the damn computer.
I'm still watching it, okay? Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Just don't look at it and give yourself anxiety, okay? Okie doke. Wow, we got a lot of kind of stuff to go over with, okay?
Do you want to start, or do you want me to start with the message we got on Twitter?
Oh, it's up to you.
How about if I start with this? It is from, they go by Energist on Twitter, and they went right into the mailbox. They didn't post it, went right into our private mailbox.
Didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, how about that? So, you ready?
Yes, you said you had a question for me.
It's a little bit of a story, an explanation, then they have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, it says, my friends started listening to a survivalist / doomsday prepper pastor on YouTube.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Mm-hmm. Their personalities changed completely. They both said they were being called by God to leave and move to Missouri immediately. They sold their house within a month and left on September 7th. They'd never been to Missouri, quit their jobs, and drove across the country.
Because God told them to?
Apparently so.
Okay.
This cult believes in the Torah type of Christianity. They believe that anyone outside of the church is in Babylon.
Yeah, our cult taught that if they're not for us, they're against us, which is not totally true.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
It says, they aren't the same people that I've known and been friends with. I'm confused and heartbroken. I've reached out to you because you've been through this. They have been convinced that they are in a spiritually protected area and that God will save them and that they are saints and that will lead everyone after, and will lead, what they say here, and that they are the saints that will lead everyone after the apocalypse.
Isn't that a running theory in all these cults that we've been
The
looking at?
apocalypse?
Well, not only the apocalypse, but the fact of you're with the right group, so you're part of the chosen ones. God's gonna like you better.
Yeah, your cult is the chosen people.
God will like you better because you found the one true place.
Right.
That's the one thing my cult said was they were the one true. Remember, God picked that town.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. See, you're lost in thought now.
I am. I feel like this is totally unreal. They keep texting me, telling me how they keep meeting others in the area who heard God's call to the Ozarks and left everything to go there. I feel like they are getting more out of reach each day. Should I stop texting with them? I tried so hard to reason with them, but they won't listen.
Of course not.
If you have any advice, I'd be really grateful. Thank you.
Well, first of all, let me say I'm sorry. One of the greatest lessons, I mean, I've learned a lot of lessons in life, is everybody has choices to make, and a lot of times the choice that somebody else makes isn't the smartest, isn't the best, and not the choice I would want them to make. But then I have to remind myself, it's not my choice. It's theirs. And you honestly never know what somebody else is going through and what choices they have in front of them. I had somebody say to me one time, why do you always insist on taking the hard road? And I looked right back at them and I'm like, why do you assume I see two roads? I'm trudging ahead on this problem. I don't see another road I can take. So yeah, you never know what people are choosing from. And these cults try and make you feel, oh, so special. Like I was just saying, right, Laura?
Mm-hmm.
That you're part of the chosen people. You have a higher place. That's how at my cult, they get these women to marry these old men because it's an honor. Because you're, marrying an elder and you're going to, have a greater place in the kingdom than your sister.
Who didn't marry an elder.
Yeah, who didn't marry an elder. She married some lowly toilet cleaner. Okay? But they love each other very, very much. And here you are marrying an old man to get a better place in the kingdom. What kind of thinking is that? I'm really sorry about your friends, and it does change their thinking. That's with any group. If you hung out with bikers, you would start to get... Not that bikers are bad. I love bikers. But they have their own mentality in life. That's why they don't take no shit, But they are also some of the most giving, compassionate people I know.
Oh, I always hear...
Bikers Against Child Abuse.
I was just going to say, you always see bikers like rallying for something.
Yes,
because raising money.
They are literally some of the best people I have ever met in life. The most giving, the most everything. And society looks down on them and they hate it.
Because they look different. They look different than the, quote, norm.
Well, what gets me is in nature, we look at the same species of birds that's 35 different colors and patterns, right? But if you don't look like me, Laura, and there's somebody next to us who ain't wearing the right clothes, I mean, get serious. We are the only ones that don't think diversity is beautiful. And I do. I think diversity is beautiful. We got off the...
We got way off that tweet.
We got way off that tweet.
So should
my advice to you would be you can not always make people hear what they're not ready to hear, but never estimate planting that seed of someday they may go, oh wow, realization.
Right. So should he or she keep texting them like they asked?
I would say unless you're asked to specifically not get a hold of them, you're making them uncomfortable, getting them in trouble. I would drop the, try and talking and reasoning to them because they've already made their choice and they're living with it. But I would always, make it clear that you're still friends regardless of somebody else's choices. Laura, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I hate you. Why does society not get this? Okay? I know there's lots of people out there that believe in God, believe in ghosts, believe in fairies, believe in aliens, believe in a lot of different stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't believe in it, of it, or for it, I'm not criticizing you for what you believe. Yeah. And I would just say, just let these people know that you're always available. I keep the simple subject. Children, you found a new pie to bake, just checking in with you. My sister had a baby, thought you'd like to know. And just keep it simple, and that keeps the lines open, and neither party has to feel stressed about it.
Right.
I have one ex friend, remember, I haven't talked to her in so long, I'm going to try and get a hold of her. She's on Facebook, so hi, Cindy. We talk, but as soon as I bring up the cult, she has to go. She doesn't want reminded of that place in any way, shape, or form. So some topics are just off limits for people. You know, she's still a wonderful friend. I miss her immensely. Her family's doing great. She's got grandbabies. Everybody's doing good. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And when I left, she was a really good friend of mine. And everybody always knew that you could come talk to me, that I wouldn't criticize you. And thankfully, like 3 or 4 years after I got out, they got out. Her entire family
Oh,
left,
that's good.
which was great. You know what I mean? And I did go visit her a few times. They lived in a little town close to the big town. Yeah, I miss a lot of people, but to finish off your question, just try and let them know. Even if you have to scale your texting back to, once a week, twice a month, whatever it comes down to. Did I answer good?
I think you did. Well, also, if they decide that, wait a minute here, this cult isn't for me,
I need a way out.
I need a way out, they'll have a way out because you've still
Right.
kept in touch.
Right.
So that could be the lifeline they need.
There's a lot of people that were at my cult that had no way out or felt they had no way out. Okay. And there's a few people that I speak to who still have relatives there. And, I announced last week that my son left. But he always knew that there were people out here that in a heartbeat would whip out their credit card and buy him a bus ticket for where grab whatever you can, get an Uber, get a taxi, beg a friend, walk. And whether it was to the bus station or the airport, there's a lot of people that are willing to help you. And the cult tries to drive everybody away that would help you because they don't believe the same, so they must be against the cult.
Right. Okay.
And once they alienate you and you've been there long enough, think back to when people started really getting cell phones. People started ditching their landlines. And then, a deal comes out with a different cell phone company, but back then you couldn't take your number with you. And, people just get lost along the way. And it's really easy to find people now with the internet and magic of Google and instantness, but yeah, I forget where I was going with that.
I have no idea.
Okay.
But yes, I think you answered that very well.
Okay. Yeah, send us your questions and things and stuff.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email.
All those good things. Okay, what do we have? Do we have anything?
That was my bit for now.
It was. You had something to read. I know that much.
Do you want me to... Are you still scrolling through your things?
Well, I can read Little Man shit. I can go to Pending Pose. You know what? I think we should go to Pending Pose.
Okay.
Okay, I got to get there real quick.
Okay.
Okay. No, I want to go here. Okay, see, the computer hasn't messed up yet.
No, don't jinx it. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
Okay, I'm going to address Christina L. And I'm going to message her afterwards because I think she just found us a little bit ago. She's binging. But she asks, was there something wrong with what I tried to post? I love your podcast and listen to it daily. Christina L., did absolutely nothing wrong. You offered up quite a few posts this week, and some of them I'm going to delve into and read. But a lot of times memes that are overused in our group or things I deem just not appropriate or not cult related, I just disapprove them. And I honestly don't know if it goes back to the person that they're
Oh,
a
yeah,
pro.
I don't know.
So I apologize to anybody out there, but I can't possibly post everything in the Facebook group that people send me. There's too many doubles, triples, quadruples, things like that. And most of the time when I found that when I'm writing the show, I have to go to the pending posts, and if I post them during the week, I forget to write it in my book.
Oh, okay.
And I also think a lot on how I'm going to answer somebody or what I want to talk about on the post that they're giving. So, yeah, sweetheart, it was nothing that you did, nothing that you did. She's a new member, both of listening and the Facebook group. She survived some other cult, but I can't remember which one. And
Wow.
in her cult, they were not allowed to call children kids either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently, there's a lot of cults like that and religious practices because, the
No
goats are going to hell.
No goats.
Well, isn't supposedly Satan half goat?
You know what? Yeah, you're
Or something
right.
with
Yeah,
the horns
like
and the
goat
hooves
feet or something.
Oh God, I don't know. Okay. Heather says, "Hey y'all, I still haven't been able to listen on the podcast as it won't play on Stitcher. Can I get some assistance?" I listen through SoundCloud. I think we have to pay to be on Spotify.
I think so.
We're on iHeartRadio if you're able to get that. Most people
Just the regular.
I just type in "I got the hell out" and it comes up on Google and it says like play an episode. So whatever. Most phones are built with a built-in podcast thing now.
SoundCloud's how I listen to all of my podcasts. It's free. Download it.
Yeah, we pay to be on it, so all you people get all of the episodes because it would only really give the last 10. And that would be unavailability of, 76
You know
other
what?
episodes.
I just thought maybe we should post this on Facebook because if she can't listen to us, how the hell is she going to hear this message?
Good point. Okay, a lot of people gave me a cute couples costume idea, and it's Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid Man.
Nice.
It's upcoming Halloween.
Nice.
So.
Oh my God, that would be hysterical.
Yeah. See, when I get 4 or 5 of them in the same week, I don't want to give somebody why post theirs but not mine.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, Julie G writes in and says, "Just a warning for those who are seeking help. The Cult Awareness Network used to be a good thing, but it's now run by Scientology sneaky little creeps."
Oh my God, so they infiltrated that.
Or took it over
Savage.
or something. That would be like the cult could buy, a church that's up for
Yeah,
sale.
that's true.
And send an elder over to, be a satellite.
Oh God.
Suck more people in. Who knows? Julie G, thank you so much. Anybody who's had, dealings with them, write in and let us know. Okay. Let's see. Jer says, "Religions are like tech. It's great at first, but quickly becomes outdated and obsolete." Okay.
Yeah. There's definitely
Come
some
on.
truth to that.
Virgin birth, walking on water. The Bible was written when people didn't know where the sun went at night. Come on. So, anyway. Okay. Where am I at? Okay, back to Christina L. She says, "Here's a part of my story. I cried the entire time I watched the episode." I didn't get to watch this, but if she felt that strongly to send it to me and say this is part of my life, maybe this is an ex-member from her group or something.
Okay.
But I'm going to approve that. Anybody who wants to watch it, the link is right here, or you can do it in your own
Free time.
yeah, or platform or whatever you call it, okay? I'd like to thank everybody that wrote in about they were listening to the podcast, Laura, and they just shouted out loud because I announced that my son was free. And You know what I
Yep,
mean?
there were some people on Instagram that were
So
very
shout
excited.
out to everybody who took the time to congratulate him and to be so happy and tell me your experience of how you screamed out loud, dropped a pork chop. I had
So it was
startled your
that was
dogs and your
pork chop
cat.
worthy news.
I, excuse me, the one lady, she was home cooking dinner or something like that, and she jumped up and down and started screaming, and her dogs and cats were looking at her like she was nuts.
Probably scared the hell out
But
of them.
then she shared the news with them, and they were happy for us too.
The dogs and cats,
Yes,
awesome.
they were happy for us
Good.
too. Okay. Paige S. Hi, shout out to you. She says, Deb, you are my procrastination and the inspiration for my problem solution paper I am writing for English class.
Nice.
So we're making another college.
Nice.
Okay. Her title is going to be clearly Cults Are a Problem. Do you think?
Just a tiny problem.
Now to do some terrible writing. Come on, Paige. You know you're
Oh,
going
I
to do a
highly
good job.
doubt it's terrible.
And let us know what your teacher says and what grade you get. We had somebody, it's written in a book somewhere, wrote a paper, and an ex-cult member, a friend of mine, she's been asked to talk at a college or two, and it pretty enlightening and helps, therapeutically.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, how does a therapist treat somebody who's never been in a cult? That just is crazy to me.
I don't know.
I mean, I understand the psychology of it, but you can't empathize with that.
Well,
No,
I guess that they're helping not with that aspect of it, but the process of believing in the cult stuff.
I guess so.
I don't know.
I don't know. You asked me when I got here if my son had talked to me since.
Mm-hmm.
And no, he hasn't. It's been a couple of weeks now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did have a small conversation with him a couple of weeks ago, and it was great. But I'm going to publish this one too. Jane L. says, wonderful news about your son. Readjustment post-cult can be very, very difficult. There are resources available. So she's given us some more resources. I did not, again, vet these or look into these. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, I thank you to everybody that does write into us and lets us know some things about what's going on. And let's see. Oh, do you know what this past Monday was? Like a week ago? I should have mentioned this last week.
What was it?
It was Day of Atonement.
Oh, that's right.
My most hatest bitch of a day.
I did see that in the calendar. That's like the Jewish New Year, correct?
Yeah, I got home because I only worked till like 4, 5, 6 on Monday. And I was talking to somebody, and they needed to get a hold of like an electrician or a plumber or something, whatever. And they already had one, but they mentioned, oh, they're Jewish and it's a high holy day. And I went, wait a minute. I'm thinking in my head, I just got home from work. It's a Monday. That would have been yesterday or Saturday.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Day of Atonement, it was sundown the 29th to the 30th. That's why Tabernacle starts October 13th.
Okay.
Because there's so many days. Because by the moon.
That's right. There's like certain days in between the two.
Right. You have to count the days of the moon and
Gotcha.
blah, 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 blah. You know how that goes. And thank you to Brianne O. She follows us on Facebook for the unsolicited dick pic. It was Dick Van Dyke.
The only dick pic you should ever get.
Yeah, the only unsolicited dick pic that you're ever happy to get. And he's got a little Mary Poppins cane and hat.
Nice. Now that dick pic is always welcome.
Yes.
That is the only one.
Penis Von Lesbian, come on.
That's true.
Either way you want to go with it. And Tamara G gave us a Mary Tyler Moore. She did the Penis Von Lesbian back on Late Night with David Letterman in the early 90s.
Really?
I missed it because I was in the cult, but I'm going to approve this. This has been on here for a while, and I had no way to work it in.
You were in the cult. Oh, my God.
Do you know how much crap I missed out on the cult because I was in the cult?
10 years.
I missed out on 10 years of listening to the bands I loved. And when you get out of a cult and you realize that they released 3, if not 4 albums since you were in, and you don't even know where to begin to start listening to shit. And then you feel guilty because, you're looking at shit.
You mean guilty because you're thinking that you shouldn't be listening to it because that was so pounded into your head? Is that what you mean?
Oh my gosh, yes. Which leads us into a message that I received that wanted to make me cry. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to read this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, here we go. Find it, find it, find it, find it, find it, find it. Okay. Um, this was going to be a really long answer to her, and she listens to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi to Miriam E. And I can tell you, Miriam was a very, very, very popular name to take in the cult.
Oh, I bet it was.
It's,
Biblical name.
Well, it's the Hebrew form of Mary. Okay. But yeah, there were Miriams everywhere. Okay. Stop me if you need me to clarify anything or if.
Okay.
Okay. She says, "Hi, Deb. I'm an ex-member. I was born into it in the early 90s. My family quit traveling out there around '08, but we still practiced the religion for a good 2 to 3 years afterwards. It took me roughly 6 to 7 years before I could eat anything, quote unquote, unclean. The first time I tried crawfish, I just knew I had condemned myself to hell. Isn't that sad?
Wow.
Okay. I just started listening to the podcast within the past 2 to 3 weeks. I just got done with episode number 23, which Laura's one of my favorites, entitled They Know. I'm a little late to the game, but I'm trying to get caught up to the current episodes. Anyways, it makes me so happy that they know there are people out here fighting to expose them. I literally cried and got the chills when you said they were listening. My husband and I just had our first child this year, and since then I have been thinking a lot about the way I was brought up, and it makes me sick knowing that there are people in the world as evil as those bastards out there. I missed out on so much as a child because of them. I hate that place with a burning passion. Thank you so much for starting this podcast and standing up and speaking out on such a big platform."
Wow.
Miriam, it didn't start out that way. Bless ya. You started out on episode 1, and that is, to me...
Anyone that hangs in there just deserves a medal. Honest to God.
Well, episode 1 has over 15,000 downloads, okay? But by the time you get to episode 5, we lost like 3/4 of those.
Gee, don't know why.
Yeah, but anyway, I love anybody who suffered through the first ones. But Miriam, it didn't start out this way. It started out as a bucket list for Laura. She wanted a podcast and something different, and one drunken phone call of, "Remember, I was in an Old Testament doomsday polygamous cult. Is that worth anything?"
Ding, ding, ding.
Bada bing. And we started out so generic. I listened to the first 2 or 3, and I'm in literal tears because...
Of agony?
The leader, the ex-member, and I sound so monotone sometimes. And I was, I guess, in the process of training my brain not to say stuff. And see,
Right.
now my brain doesn't really give a shit most of the time of what I say. I call out, if people want me to say their name and they're an ex-member, I'm totally comfortable with that. If they want to tell me something and make sure the world knows it, but don't even want to put an initial next to it, I'm totally comfortable with that too. So I think it took a lot for Miriam to write to me, and there's a lot of children out there that are extremely angry, and there's a lot of them today that are still living that life. And we've discussed the conditions out there, Laura, haven't we?
Yep.
Children being carted off to farms in the backs of
Working.
dusty pickup trucks, no smiles, just looks
Well,
of...
how the hell could you smile? Could you imagine you're a kid?
It's 7 and,
like,
you're
being
going to go
put to
pick
work.
corn.
Right.
Or pick weeds. Or chop heads off of fish. Or make butter. At least the girls, I guess they didn't give them the gross jobs. I mean, maybe they had to pluck chickens and shit. I don't know.
Make butter, like you said.
They had the butter house.
The Butter House.
It was called the Butter House.
Okay.
And it was one of Little Man's lake houses, okay?
Ah, one of his many houses.
Yeah, I spoke to the grandmother of one of the girls that was at the Butter House when it got raided. Because they were all whisked on out of there. And they were,
the kids.
Yeah, the little girls. It was all little girls under a certain age. And that's all I have to say about that in the Butter House.
Okay.
Those are not my stories to tell, and there's a lot
Gotcha.
of people that are willing to tell their stories. Do you know that? Okay, now. Lori S. asked a couple weeks ago about a potion for this upcoming Halloween to put on her broomstick. Have you come up with one?
I would come up with things to not put on a broomstick.
Well, maybe you can do that, and then you can come up with a list of things you could put on a broomstick.
No Dr. Bronner's, no
No-
any type of cream you would put on for your muscles. Like no
Bengay.
Icy Hot, Bengay.
No, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Vapor rub.
Exactly. Anything with menthol. Menthol is a no-no.
Or essential oils.
Yes, no.
So, yeah, especially peppermint and thieves and all that good shit that we've already discussed.
Not good. Not good.
Not good, not good at all. Okay, I'm going to kill your dog, but we're going to...
Not if I get to him first.
Okay, we're really sorry, guys. He's been quiet for a lot of weeks.
He's making up for it.
I know. I showed Strippy Man to quite a few. I sent private...
I forgot about him.
Yeah, I sent his picture to quite a few ex-members to see if anybody recognized him.
Did anybody recognize him?
Nobody recognized him. Nobody's husband, nobody's uncle, nobody.
Could you
who was at
imagine,
the
like,
cult.
if you're like, that's my husband? Could you imagine that?
But see, back then I was there for so long before the men were separated.
You would have known who it was.
I would
Right.
have recognized him. So
Maybe it was like a relative that came to visit.
I don't know if anybody knows
Who Strippy Man is?
who Strippy Man is, can find out somehow. I mean, there's a reverse picture lookup. I know that on like Google and stuff. That's why I don't post pictures of like rockabilly,
Yeah.
in his rockabilly days.
Gotcha.
I am gonna put a little shithead emoji on him though and post that one because it's just too hysterical.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, girl, we're starting today at almost 2:30 and I have to be to work at 5.
I know.
And
I'm sorry.
I don't even have my hair up. I'm at least dressed. I brought my hair piece.
Your hairpiece.
Well,
Your toupee. Your hairpiece.
I work with food. I pull it up in that bun thing and I put my stabby stick in it.
Okay.
Because
You said hairpiece.
that is a stabby stick in an
is.
emergency, right through the eyeball, ear, up the nose, if you can get them in any of them places. So if you're that close to me that I have to pull my stabby stick out and put it in your eyeball, you are
Too close.
You're too damn close to me. Okay. So where are we going now?
I don't know. Still more pending posts?
No, not right now.
Okay.
We are going to go to things that are already posted. Okay.
Okay.
That picture that I showed you of me on my first ID, this one.
Yes, where you look so young.
Yes. Okay. I even asked people at work, pulled the picture up, how old do you think I am? Now, child member Brandon, he put 22 because he knew me back then, and I said in the last episode I was 22. How old do I look? And it just amazed me that everybody, 14, 15, 16, hi, Billy. He put old enough to know better. He was one of them funny old man members.
Right.
He still thinks I'm possessed by demons because I don't...
Because you don't wear your bells.
Well, no, because I don't believe the earth is flat.
Oh, God. Okay.
Even though he'll tell me they have members all around the globe. And I'm like, do you hear
Do you
yourself?
hear what you just said? So he thinks the earth is flat?
Yeah. Somebody
Okay.
put 9, 15, 14. My mother guessed and put 23. Mother.
There's no way
I
on
didn't
God's
look
green earth you
23.
look 23. Mm-mm.
And she doesn't even know how old I was when I joined the cult. Okay. Yes, you did, Mother.
No, you do not look 23.
And I like to say hi to Shannon. Okay.
Okay.
Shannon D. She says, hi, Deb. I heard your podcast this week mentioning going down to Australia. I'm a New Yorker who moved to Sydney. I use the website www.secretflying.com to get super cheap airfares between the two countries. The last time I paid $400 US round trip Sydney to Los Angeles. You just need to check once or twice a week because the tickets are usually only available for a short time. Hopes this helps you come visit paradise one day. I did
What
not.
the hell, did she sit with the luggage underneath or what?
I don't know.
$400
Okay.
to Australia?
Look, this is just, it's round trip.
Son of a bitch. Oh, could you imagine?
I don't know. Maybe there's 3 layovers in 9 different countries. I have no
That
idea.
could be.
But
could be.
I didn't check this out. Secret flying. Come on, that
Secret
sounds kind of sketchy to me.
Okay.
Is that one of them things that grabs a hold of your information and bots it?
Ooh,
and-
never know.
So
Yeah, anything could do that
I
nowadays.
will let you go
Let
on
me-
that site.
Oh, you're gonna let me go?
Yeah, I'm gonna-
Thank you.
I'm gonna let you go
Thank
on
you
there
so
and
much.
see if you can.
Was it secret flying?
Secretflying.com. Okay.
Gee, thanks.
Okay. What else do I have? Shout out to a Thomas D. He lives in Cranberry.
All right.
He'd love to come to our next get together, and he asked about. He's catching up, like a lot of people are, and he asked about whatever happened with the documentary.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, he has yet to catch up on this, but I will give a real quick explanation for. I got to take a drink here.
Of water, not of milk.
No, my milk's waiting for me at work.
Okay.
And I didn't have any little ones, and I didn't want to bring a half a gallon of milk with me
Gotcha.
to your house. Come on. I can live
Gotcha.
without milk for an hour or two.
Hard to believe, but
No, it's not. Okay,
documentary.
well, apparently, okay. Great question, by the way. I got what looked like a nice contract. Laura has done some work in the movies and entertainment and stuff, and she looked at her. This looks pretty,
What did I know?
generic.
It was very basic.
very basic. Well, here's where karma comes in. Remember, we talk about karma a lot. Whether you believe in God, karma, universe, vibes, it all just happens for a reason. It's all good, whatever. I actually work for a retired attorney who he does contracts. That's one of his specialties, along with 92 other things. He's a very smart man, and he looked that contract over, and he actually asked me, could this have been from the cult? And he said, as badly as it was written, if it went in front of a judge, literally this person who I would have signed this contract to could have sold my story back to the cult for $1, and I never would have been able to speak of my experiences again.
So they would have bought your experience.
And I never would have made a penny off of it, and I'd probably be sitting in jail right now because I wouldn't stop anyway. So,
Rocking that orange.
yeah. Yeah, can't shut me up, can you? We figure a way to do it from jail. Even if I had to write my part.
They have a podcast called, with the earworm or something.
I don't
And it's
know.
a guy that is in jail.
Yeah, but he probably is non-violent.
But they still go into jail, and he talks from his jail cell or in the little area. So it's actually done in jail. So we could do it. Just saying.
Unless the cult pays them off to not.
Well, that's a possibility.
Anyway, we that was the only documentary we've been offered, and apparently it was fake. And the person, you would think that they would get back to you like a week later.
That is bizarre.
Did your attorney? Because I flat out told them I had an attorney to look
Right.
at it,
Right.
and maybe they thought, well, I'm busted.
That could be.
Because anybody who's professional would send out, an email
Here's
or
a
a
clarification.
text,
Here's a clarification.
or
Here's more
to say,
information.
did you have your attorney look
Right.
at it? Did you try and get back to me and lost my contact info?
Right.
So, yeah, who knows what's going on? I got a really interesting postcard, by the way. Mm-hmm. To look at it, does this not look like a home improvement thing? Starting over.
Starting out. Yeah, I mean, the way it looks like there's wood
There's a
on
paint
it.
roller.
Paint roller, starting over. Maybe you're downsizing.
I don't know.
You're starting over. Your kids left for college. You're starting over.
Well, I do a lot of home improvement. I thought, I picked it up and I looked
Sure.
at it. And first thing on the back, fall in love with your regrets.
What?
Fall
Who
in-
the hell wants to do that?
Apparently,
Fall in love with your...
this church, okay, it says it's possible to learn to love your regrets because through them we can seek God at work. You're invited over there for a new teaching series, Starting Over. What could you do with a life beyond regret? Well, you know what, Laura? I'm looking at this and I'm going, you haven't lived if you don't have regrets.
Well, here's the thing. You can learn from your regrets.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to. I wouldn't say you fall in love with them.
You know,
what the hell?
I mean, you can regret that you were offered to go on this trip and for whatever reason you didn't go and you're kicking yourself in the ass for it. You regret it. Well, learn from that. The next time a trip opportunity comes up, go, hell yeah. I regret the last time I didn't go. Okay. Now, the series kicks off in October and you receive a free copy of the Starting Over, Your Life Beyond Regrets, okay? And all children will receive a free kids devotional book as well.
Okay.
Now, this is what you can expect there. A casual and welcoming environment with free coffee and refreshments, uplifting contemporary worship and encouraging teaching from the Bible, fun, safe, and age-appropriate programs for children's nursery, 5th grade at this church. They got a really cool idea going, but why do you have to bring God into it? Why can't somebody just start a support group of, hey, let's just get together and talk about life's shitty and how we can make it better for everybody?
Right.
Don't bring God into it. For anybody out there in Allegheny County, there is a new Facebook group that my mom turned me on to, Helping Hands of Allegheny County. Everything you put on there is supposed to be free. And I'd say 75% of the people are just having trouble with food right now. Just moved, just left my abusive ex, just had enough money to move into an apartment.
Oh, right. Don't have enough for food.
Right. The food card doesn't come in for another 6 days. And the amount of people that are helping each other, I just find amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Everybody lives too far away for me to personally help them. Okay. But I look through it every day. So, interesting thoughts. We can change the world, people.
What is it called again?
Helping Hands of Allegheny County. And
well, you know what? I bet there's probably either that or maybe something similar in different counties.
I don't know. Maybe somebody got the idea from another Facebook group, but I thought it was great. It's people, like the one woman, I'm moving and I cleaned out my pantry. I'm not taking these boxes of canned goods with me. Can these help anybody? And where like the town she's located, I'm in Carnegie, I'm in Heidelberg, wherever. And people will respond, and a lot of these people are disabled or they don't have a car. But yeah, anybody in Allegheny County, check it out. The one poor woman was asking for help and didn't realize how big Allegheny County was when she moved here.
Oh, yeah.
Other than Philadelphia, we are not geographically wise, but people-wise, the largest county in Allegheny County, other than Philly.
In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania.
Wow.
We're number 2. Philly's number 1 only because they have more people. It's a big damn place. So, anyway, I thought you had something to read.
We are still on that website.
Aww.
From that member.
With Elder Peter.
I forgot his name, yes.
Elder Peter. We had an episode not dedicated to him, but that's what we named it.
I forgot about that, Elder Peter.
You always forget. Anyway, keep on reading.
So this is one of the bullet points. It says, he practices medicine without a license! !
Okay.
Little man. He had a licensed doctor from Detroit, Michigan, who was a loyal member for over a decade. And this doctor treated many people at the church
we had doctors.
For various illnesses. She was his personal doctor to his wives and the many women under his headship. He has spread infectious STDs to his many lovers, some as young as 15. Oh, the look on your face. Little man is the carrier of trichomoniasis, an STD which infects the women he is intimate with. To cover his disease spreading, he preached what was called the X-rated STD sermon series that taught that all of the members have STDs given to them from birth and inherited from their parents.
We discussed this. Remember that?
Yep.
And that's
and
the
I
cause
had to
of global
listen
warming.
to those god-awful tapes.
That's the cause of global warming. STDs, the little bugs that are flying off of you up into the atmosphere.
Talk about wanting to put a stabby stick in your ear.
I just took all that shit home.
Just saying.
I can bring them back and play an X-rated tape for you again.
No.
Okay. Stabby stick in your ear.
It is apparent that this was done so that none of his women would question or even understand how they got an STD, especially when some of them were virgins when he took them. He used the doctor for over a decade to treat many of these women and has been told by some members that some of these young women had abortions under her care for him.
I know nothing of that. You would have to speak to those who left and was under her care.
Okay. She was the sole female doctor for most of the women in the cult. She was also involved in the midwives program and was involved in the death of Lisa J., who died in childbirth by bleeding to death.
Yes, and we discussed Lisa at one point. We're still supposed to be doing a memorial show, and there's just so many things on our plates, Laura. And it makes me feel bad when I remember, oh shit, I got to get with Lisa's family.
Right.
And give them the questions and stuff. It's still in the plans, guys. I'm not procrastinating. But, and let me just state that she was not my doctor or midwife in any way, shape, or form. I knew who she was. I knew she was a doctor. I knew who she treated. I wasn't good enough, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you had to be good enough to be seen by this doctor.
Well, it goes little man's wives, little man's children.
Gotcha.
Elders, wives, elders' children.
So you were low down the totem pole.
Well, Kenny was just a lowly deacon. He's still struggling for that elder title. Much luck to you, dude. Know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Let's see here. In order to cover his tracks of spreading his STD to his women, he also the teachings to his members of the church that they needed to start internal body cleanses to supposedly clean up the body from the STDs, which he sold from his store.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Because, what was it, the chlorine? No.
What
did you say, those capsules?
They
bromine?
sell everything. I mean, every essential oil, every kind of chili powder, anything they can powder up and put into capsules. We've discussed many times, guys, about the goat head thistle that was causing abortions.
Right.
About the mesquite beans being collected and being sold as food. You keep going.
Ugh. There is no doubt this whole homeopathic cleansing system was started because of the high rate of infecting women he lays with, and to try to get them cleansed. None of the women realize that he is the carrier of the serious STD, which has no cure. Some women in his extended family have been told to go to their birth city and visit doctors to get medical help, so the doctors in the cult's town don't connect all of his polygamous exploits with his STD.
Oh, yeah, you gotta hide it, sweep it under the carpet. You know what one of their favorite sayings was? That I find funny and ironic now?
What?
And it's a Bible verse, guys. Help me out here, because I can't come up with it. Something about you can't hide the truth under a bushel basket. Or maybe that was one of Little Man's sayings. Because a bushel basket, the light comes...
There's something about like a light in a candle. Like you don't hide it under a bushel.
But he was saying that the light was the truth. You can't hide the truth. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can't hide the light under a bushel basket, meaning the truth will come out eventually.
And, it always does.
And look what's coming out. The truth.
Mm-hmm.
Look how much truth has come out on this podcast here.
Yep.
And there's just so much more truth to come out. Keep reading.
Okay. To make matters worse, some of these women do not go and get medical attention, but instead trust his medical advice and only rely on herbs that he recommends.
Well, of course, he's Little Man.
While we are not ridiculing herbal formulas, it is always advisable to get a medical checkup to make sure these herbs are working. Hello?
Well, that
yes.
And my mom can't take any of those herbal supplements because she's got really big allergies to like ragweed and St. John's wort.
Right, because I was going to say that's basically what that is. So
and if she went and started doing these plant supplements without knowing what she was doing, she could throw herself into anaphylactic shock and die.
Right.
And even though it's all natural, we see my quotes.
Well, all natural doesn't mean not poisonous.
But I could probably take a St. John's wort pill.
Right.
But my mom, it might be deadly for her.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that have died out there, let me tell you. And a lot of it is from lack of doctors, lack of medical care, doing the wrong thing. Diabetics not getting their insulin and being forced to eat propolis, honey, and royal jelly every day. And oh, so much more. Keep reading.
Little man does not have any schooling in homeopathic health doctoring and only tells people to take what someone else has recommended to him. He discourages the members from visiting doctors, but he goes to doctors on a routine basis to treat his diseases and ailments.
I'm sure he does. He does whatever the hell he wants. And
Because none of those rules apply to him.
you have no idea how many people, when they left the cult, told me that they broke the Sabbath and they went places.
And he was there?
No, like the mall.
Oh, okay.
Or out to eat or something. Because if you ran into another member, it was a wink wink moment because you're both breaking the
I was going to
Sabbath.
say, you're not going to tell on them because they'll be like, well, how the hell do you know?
Exactly. Because everybody goes home, eats their food that they've prepared the day before, or goes to somebody's house for a Sabbath meal. Now, maybe if they're taking the loop home and they see you walking into Kentucky Fried Chicken, wow, isn't that so-and-so and his wife walking into Kentucky Fried... What? It's the Sabbath. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Now, what if you ran into Little Man on the Sabbath?
I did.
Would it be a wink wink while you were in the cult, though?
I don't know.
Or would he give some kind of spiel about how he's there on God's work and he's allowed to be there?
I do
Why
know
are
that
you
there
here?
were 2 young men that were made an example of, okay? And all I kept thinking was laughing in my head as my ex-husband ranted because he was really good friends with these 2 guys. They were like his age. Do you know what they got kicked out of the cult for?
What?
And Kenny just couldn't believe that they broke the law.
What?
Sears had a 2-day sale. Okay?
So Sears busted them out of the cult.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And you know, in retrospect, and after leaving the cult, who the hell busted them? It's Sears.
Seriously.
Because
yeah.
you know, these 2 guys weren't going to rat each other out. I mean, me and whether it was a friend of mine or 5 of us, if we were doing something we weren't supposed to be doing, it never went past us. Do you
Right.
know what I mean? The parties that I had at my house, almost frying the parrot. You know, me and my waitress, you know, driving down a dirt road doing things we shouldn't have been doing. It never would ever leave our lips. So I always wondered how those 2 got busted.
That was very interesting.
Sears broke them free
Sears broke them
because
free.
they had to go to the 2-day sale.
2-day sale. Oh my God.
Satan
They went
tempted
on the
them.
wrong day.
Satan tempted them with the 2 days. But they didn't find out about it until the Sabbath because somebody got a great deal the day before.
Oh, so I got you. So they had to go on the second day.
Right, because it was only Saturday. It was Friday and Saturday.
I hope it was a damn good sale.
I don't know what they bought, but I listened to Kenny rant and rave and bitch because, I mean, he just lost 2 really good friends.
Right.
Because of Sears, Satan, and a 2-day sale.
Oh my God.
Okay.
What else do you have?
I forgot to watch a video with you before we started. You're going to have to start asking me because I torture myself by watching a couple of these videos, or I try to. Like I said, there's like probably some subliminal damn messages or something in there. Okay. Last week there was an ex-member named Karen, and I posted on here, anyone ever triggered by an offhand comment? Hub said, I have a relationship with my sister. I flew off the handle before he could finish his sentence.
Oh yeah, we talked about this last week.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Well, this was put on Facebook for people to talk about. And somebody asked Karen to explain a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was because he has a relationship with his sister, and maybe Karen was thinking, you know, sister wives or just the wrong word, right?
Right. I just took it as he gets along with his sister.
Oh, so you did right. She got back to Denise, who asked her to explain more. And she said, I got triggered by this because my sister, whom prior to that place was my best friend, I rarely get to even text her. My husband was saying that he and his sister had a relationship, and that particular day it triggered me into a rage. He knew my sister in high school and would to this day drive his truck through the gates and get her if she wanted. I just got triggered by a simple statement. It scared me more than anything. I've been gone 20 years from there, yet things still haunt and trigger me. P.S. Hubby meant no disrespect. I was the one that went berserk.
Wow.
Yeah,
You can't help what triggers you.
No, you can't. And her sister actually, when I was the playground police and I had that little, me and my friend Sherry, her husband, the guys put a common room between the trailers so we got to all hang out in bad weather and stuff, and no one could see what we were doing or saying. But Karen's sister actually was in one of those campers that goes on the back of a pickup truck. Mm-hmm. Except it was leveled just to stand there alone. Okay. And that was her feast dwelling.
Wow.
And she exists. I used to feel so sad for her. And Kenny actually inquired about marrying her because I think she's a couple years younger than me. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, she was married to one of Little Man's sons. And Little Man's son deflowered and defrocked her, married her, and now she's been defiled, and she can't marry anybody else. And he left the cult, and she's been alone ever since. But I did hear that she's now one of Little Man's.
Oh boy.
But I have talked to Karen, and she knows her sister's still alive. That's something,
Yeah.
We all hope that our loved ones are seriously going to leave, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Her sister was a really sweet girl, and maybe someday she'll leave too, Mm-hmm. Always hope, right?
Yep.
Maybe. Oh, and Jer B is willing to trade me pierogies for Mormon peanut butter.
Both some good stuff.
I'm willing to trade, man. I am so seriously willing to trade. Okay. Oh, man, we're getting close to the end again. We are. Okay. We'll kind of finish off with some quotes from Little Man. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. This is Little Man, dated from 2005. Mm-hmm. Long time ago, right?
Sure.
He said the way he wrote it, the way he fixed it, he did it this way so that he could call out certain ones, open their minds to understanding, and only they would be able to see. It's written here, and a little there, a little everywhere. I actually added, I added the everywhere at the end. Just a little everywhere. I added that. It was just too good.
Oh my God, how do you not add that?
I'm telling you, it's almost Dr. Seuss-ish.
God, it is.
But like we were talking about earlier on this episode, God only calls out certain ones. You're special. You have the knowledge. The people that are around you trying to talk you out of the craziness of selling your shit and going to join them, that's Satan working against you, trying to chip away at your mind. Here, eat Satan's Subway sandwich and throw up,
Right.
Yeah. So they make you feel like you are the one. Okay, now, this is off their official page. Apparently, you have to make appointments with God.
What?
You have to make appointments with God.
Do you have to, does he have a secretary?
I don't know. I didn't actually read this, but it says, no salvation without keeping appointments with the Creator, God.
How about that?
Do you think God has a secretary? Is his calendar getting full?
That's what I'm saying.
How do we get
Can you make
God?
appointments online? And questions, we need answers to these.
We need answers to this shit. Come on. Okay. This is a quote from him. Isaac 21. I don't know if that's the moon of Isaac.
Hell,
the
it
day
could be
21. They're crazy out there at this point, okay? Stand up for God. if the whole world stands against you, you stand up for God.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not? Because God favors you, right?
I guess if you're chosen, if you're one of the lucky ones.
Okay, here's where a little bit of bullying comes in. This is dated
Ooh.
86, long before I even got there.
Okay.
I have to tell you the truth. I have no other choice. Walk out on me if you will. That's fine. I have to bring the truth. I could have been here a few weeks ago, and that would have been the end of it. But I can't do it, brethren. It looks like you would all want me to stand strong. It doesn't look like anyone would turn against me for bringing this truth. It doesn't look like you would allow hatred to come into yourself for me or my family, because we are insistent on leading you in total truth.
The hell does that mean?
Basically, it's saying he's not a liar. But usually when somebody has to tell you what they are, Laura,
Yeah, I have a big problem
if I knew
with
you
that.
for a month and started cleaning for you, and I kept telling you how much I didn't steal from people, and people love me because I don't steal,
You're stealing.
wouldn't it come into your mind to start checking your jewelry and your change jug and everything else?
I have a huge problem with people that always have to put it in your face that they're Christian.
Okay.
I have a big problem with that. You know what? Because usually you're the ones that are doing shitty stuff to people. Because, what is that, like, walk the walk? You shouldn't have to tell people what you are. You should just be it.
Exactly.
Be it. You don't need to make announcements. Because if you're doing what you believe,
people can tell you.
Actions speak louder than words.
People can
they will be able to
tell you whatever they want. But like you said, the actions speak louder than words. I got into a disagreement with a friend of mine, and I was so mad. I didn't talk to them for like 3 days. And they finally texted me that they were, will you please talk to me? And I didn't answer. Finally, they texted me that they were coming over to my house to talk to me. And they apologized profusely, okay? And this was quite a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't impressed with the apology. Anybody can give an apology. But guess what I got? I got changed behavior. That to me is
bigger than an apology.
A true apology.
Right.
You could say, I'm sorry for leaving my dirty clothes all over the floor.
But if you keep doing it, you're not sorry.
You're not sorry.
You're not sorry.
Now, if, your daughter says, Mom, I'm really sorry I leave my clothes all over the floor. I'll try and do better.
And you see an effort.
And you noticed, 5 days out of 7, her clothes actually hit the laundry basket.
And it doesn't have to be 100%, as long as the effort is being seen.
But the changed behavior, to me,
speaks louder.
Speaks louder than
Yep.
anything anybody could say. And the fact of you have to tell me what a good person you are.
Right. Bingo.
Or you don't do this, or you do that.
Mm-hmm.
It sets off my little mental
alarms.
alarms.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They have faithful members in South Carolina and in Georgia who sent in pictures of the spotting of the new moon.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, that sets the feast days.
Gotcha.
Because it'll be a full moon.
Okay.
It always starts on a full moon. Or maybe it ends on a full moon. I don't remember.
New moon? Full moon?
Well, this is the new moon.
Because you can't see it as the new moon.
It's a little teeny tiny crescent.
Right.
They called it the fingernail moon. Okay, this was Sunday because, I scroll through their shit while I'm, trying to write the show up, see what kind of little gems I get here and there. Mm-hmm. Watch for the new moon of Jacob. And Jacob is spelled Yahaqob.
Good Lord.
Well, that's Hebrew.
Okay.
Knew a lot of Jacobs there, too. And the Feast of Trumpets will begin when the moon is sighted. I forgot about Feast of Trumpets.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, look it up.
Oh, gee, all right.
You have Google in your pocket like everybody else does. And guess what I found? Only one for this week.
Bread sack.
I found a bread sack.
Okay.
Therefore, with joy will you draw water out of the wells of salvation. That's Isaiah 12:3 for anybody who wants to look it up. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, somebody decided that little man is the well of salvation, okay, because they wrote, the waters of life flow only from the mouth of the seventh messenger out of the house of God.
And he's the seventh messenger.
Oh, yeah, he's the seventh messenger. He's
Seven's
digital
everything.
time.
Oh, that's right.
He's the overseer. He's a doctor,
Gotcha.
a lawyer, an Indian chief, Buffalo
Gotcha.
Bill.
Gotcha.
How many titles does this man have?
Apparently not enough, because he keeps adding.
And you know what was funny is you pointed out in the one book, it was Dr. Little Man.
Yes.
And real doctors put DR after their name, not before it. Did you know that?
MD.
MD, yeah.
DR.
Not DR. I was a little confused there.
But you got you're right. They
Even
put the initials
even nurses
after
and registered nurses,
Yes.
they put
the initials are after the name.
after their name, but yet he's putting it in his books as Doctor.
Yeah, you're not going to
not
going to publish an article and sign it Nurse Susie.
No.
Not going to happen.
He's doing it. Well, the papers that somebody writes. I mean, some of this stuff is like, well, 5th grade education, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch this video, and I guess we're gonna finish off with a double song dedication.
Ooh.
Okay, I gotta get over to
All right,
it.
what do you have?
Okay, I was going through some stuff here and writing the show, and I was going through the back messages of some of my friends from when I worked there. Okay.
Mhm.
And she sent me something, and I read it, and I found it hysterical. And when I read it again, I realized you're supposed to sing it, okay, because it's to a tune,
Gotcha.
which is a really good tune
Okay.
anyway. Gloria Gaynor,
Mm-hmm.
Gaynor, I Will Survive.
Love that song.
This was one of my songs that I would sing to myself no matter what Kenny and the cult tried to do to me. I was gonna fucking survive. They're not taking me down. I am bigger, badder, meaner, and stronger than you. That's why I had the wire cutters everywhere.
Right.
Because they're not gonna kill me. They're not gonna kill my babies. I will survive. So, to everybody out there who got in on the unsolicited dick pic conversation, this is why she sent this to me. I just found it hysterical. So I'm going to try and sing it and just don't.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, and this is sung to I Will Survive by.
Gotcha.
And trust me, Gloria's version is so much better. And if you've never listened to it, go listen to it.
Oh, I'll be the judge of that. Go ahead, go for it.
Okay? At first I was petrified. When you said 10 inches, Lord, I almost died. But I'd spent so many years just waiting for that man that long that I grew strong. And I knew I could take you on, but there you are. Another lie. I was ready for a Big Mac and you brought me a French fry. I should have known it was bullshit. Said just a sad, pathetic dream. Should have known there was no anaconda lurking in your jeans. Now go on, go. Walk out the door. Don't you promise me 10 inches and give me only 4. You're such a brat to think that I wouldn't find it out. Don't you know we're only joking when we say size doesn't count? I will survive as long as I have all my batteries. My sex life's gonna thrive. I will survive. Hey, hey.
That is beautiful. Oh my God.
You don't have an anaconda in
And
your
that's
jeans.
what I'm laughing at. Oh my God.
Did I sing badly?
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Did I carry a tune?
You were good. You were good.
I sufficed enough.
Exactly.
Hope I gave everybody a laugh. Mom's probably
Oh,
peeing
dear
herself
God.
in tears going, gosh, no, stop.
You gave me a French fry.
I was expecting a Big
Big
Mac
Mac.
and you gave me a French fry. You told me 10 inches and gave me only 4. Size does really matter.
Oh my God.
Okay, guys. Well, back to a serious note. We're almost out of time. I guess we're not available on whatever platform. She said Stitcher.
Stitcher.
Find us on SoundCloud.
You got to remember to post something on the Facebook page.
Yeah, remind me.
I will try to.
I gotta go.
I just reminded you right now.
Oh gosh, but we're still doing the show.
Okay,
So
it doesn't count.
be kind to everybody you meet. and you're going to yell at me because we're almost at a minute 10.
It's okay.
Send us your thoughts, ideas. Get a hold of me if you need to talk. I talk to anybody, and I will get back to you later, Miriam, on that private message. And of course, she's not going to hear this because she ain't caught up this far. So
Right.
I'm an idiot.
That's all right.
Guys, I got to go to work. It's getting late, and we're almost at $1:10.
Yep,
So,
and I apologize for my dog.
all right.
I don't know who's going to throttle him first.
It's been Deb
And Laura.
and talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.